Hey there. So I wanted to test out how well a Yixing clay teapot retains heat compared to a porcelain Gaiwan and my other clay teapot. So Yixing clay is known for its superb heat retention capabilities. Also, Mayleaf and TDB tried similar experiments with interesting results, so check them out if you want. First of all these vessels have a volume of 100 milliliters, just to make sure these compare more equal. So how did I structure my experiment? First, I heated up the vessels for 2 minutes with boiling water. Then I removed the water and reboiled my water. I filled the vessel with freshly boiled water. After that, I measured the temperature every 2 minutes till I reached 10 minutes of time. Then I moved on to the next brewing vessel and used the same steps. I started with the Gaiwan, then moved to the Yixing clay teapot, and after that to the clay teapot. So let's take a look at the results. Here in the graph, yellow is the clay teapot, red is the Yixing clay teapot, and blue is the Gaiwan. The Gaiwan starts 2 degrees Celsius less than the Yixing clay teapot and the clay teapot. Here we can see the temperature lost in percentages and here in degrees Celsius. So here's the starting point, 85 degrees. Then after 4 minutes is 78.5, after 6 is 71, and after 8 it's 67. So for the Gaiwan, it loses after 4 minutes 7.6% in heat, starting from the 85 degrees, and then goes down, and at 10 minutes it has lost 24% of its starting temperature, whereas the Yixing clay teapot only loses 20% and the clay teapot 23%. I think one reason the Gaiwan seems to lose its temperature faster than the clay teapot and the Yixing clay teapot is that the lid is much bigger, so heat can escape more quickly, so I would guess. Another little experiment I wanted to try is how the Gaiwan would compare against the Yixing clay teapot under more realistic brewing conditions. That means how the Gaiwan would perform if we let it empty for 2 minutes and simulate that way that we were drinking our tea in that time. So I started with heating up both the Gaiwan and the Yixing clay teapot for 2 minutes. Then I refilled both with new fresh boiled water. Then I let them sit for 2 minutes, removed the water, waited for 2 minutes while they were empty, and then added boiling water again. Then I waited another 2 minutes and measured the temperature. So we started with the Gaiwan at 85 degrees Celsius. After the 2 minutes wait and refilling the Gaiwan with boiling water for another 2 minutes, we read it 83.5 degrees. So we lost 1.7% in heat. For the Yixing clay teapot, it's better. We started with 87 degrees, and then after sitting around empty for 2 minutes and being refilled for 2 minutes, we lost only 0.5%. So we can see that the porcelain Gaiwan seems to lose some of its heat while sitting empty with a closed lid. The Yixing pot stays more stable. In my case, when I drink tea with a Gaiwan, I usually let the lid open in between steeps. So I would guess that the heat loss when adding hot water back in would be even higher. That's also the reason why I prefer to use a Gaiwan for greener or more floral teas. For teas that can handle higher brewing temperatures, I prefer my Yixing teapots because of the slightly higher heat retention. I also keep the lid closed in between brews. Of course, these results aren't flawless because of inconsistencies that may have occurred while I did this experiment, but I still find the results pretty interesting. I hope you did too. See ya.